Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a very special WrestleMan with a Podcast episode. This isn't any official episode. These are WrestleMania 40 predictions, and I got two very special guests on. So the news around my grandmother passing away a few days ago is I unfortunately cannot attend WrestleMania because the funeral is Saturday. My two guests are going to go, and my one roommate, whose name is also Dylan, is going to replace me. So there won't be any vlogs or anything like that unless anybody else who goes decides to do it, but I kind of doubt it. So fortunately, that's not the case, but I'm still night two going to watch with my friends, and night one I'll hopefully watch for some people as well and have some fun. So I don't want any awkwardness when my two friends go. It's a shame I can't go, but there's more important things in life. But WWE makes me happy, especially in struggling times like this, and doing these predictions is obviously going to be fun. So let's stop wasting so much time. Let's get into it.
Welcome to WrestleMan with the Podcast. I'm Dylan Shields. We talk Raw, SmackDown, wrestling news, and some fun top lists. With that being said, ring the bell.
I'm seeing my two friends headbang into my intro music. It's badass. So my two guests, one of them's Wi-Fi is horrible. So just a heads up, if he keeps lagging in and out, it's going to happen probably periodically. Let's get them on here. Troy Sigafos and Matt Warmus are our two guests today.
The Intercontinental Champion. That's right here.
We were talking a bit before the episode, but how you guys doing?
It could be better. I have a lot of technical issues, but I'm probably gonna pop in and out, but we'll see. Try my best.
That shit happens.
Make a run in every time for your prediction. You're like, and your prediction is cut out.
Every time we do one specific prediction, I'm gonna come in and out, in and out, in and out.
Yeah, but are you two excited to go in person? I know it sucks I can't go, but you two still gotta have some fun Saturday.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and have as much fun. I'm upset like, you aren't gonna be there, but
yeah,
it's out of my control. There's nothing I can do, but I don't want it to affect everything. And my roommate said something nice. He's like, "I'm gonna get you some merch and stuff, so at least it'll be some nice thing for you."
He'll be in that merch line for 2 hours.
Oh yeah, it'll be worth it,
and it's not gonna fit you at all.
He is. We're all gonna be in the merch line.
Dude, I don't know. Well, unless I'll see what the Mania shirts they really have on there, dude. Because I guarantee you that merch every shirt's got to be $40 because Mania 40.
I think they're gonna have a lot of the Bray Wyatt merch because I know they just recently dropped that for his podcast.
Oh. I would wear a Bray Wyatt. I would buy that.
Documentary. I don't know why it's a podcast.
Yeah. I mean, I've not been able to sleep for the last couple of days. It's just a lot's been going on. Trying to prepare for this trip, but I'm probably not going to get any sleep tonight. I'm not going to get any sleep.
Probably won't get any this weekend. I doubt it. So, Troy, since you're in charge of the tickets for us, tell the 30 viewers that watch this where the sections are, how cool, what good view the seats are.
We got pretty solid seats. We are at, I'm opening my ticket app. We are section 226, row 13, 9, 10, and 11. So that we will get a great view of the stage. We're still near the nosebleeds, but pretty far up in the nosebleeds.
But you're towards the front of the nosebleeds, which is pretty cool, and a really good view of the stage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I better see some recording of entrances or I'm going to riot.
What do you think my entire job is going to be over there?
It's not going to be Matt's job. His phone is...
I'm going to be recording mine. You just can't handle my...
The file size of yours just
can't handle your Samsung. But let's get into predictions here.
Oh, yeah. How are we starting this? Are we doing it by night? Or are we just going to do randomly?
I'm going to do it by night and what I think the order of the card is, because I have a kind of thought of what I think it's going to be. So let's get started with what I think is going to open Saturday. It is the brothers, Jay versus Jimmy Yeet versus No Yeet. First of all, how the fuck is Yeet over in 2024?
No way.
Isn't that a 2013 thing?
WWE is just so hot at this point that like they don't have to do anything. Like everyone is so over. Like if you're not over right now, like that is on you, because everyone's just so over.
Yeah, but it's so weird. That's that specific word. I think there was something. See the cutouts as always, but wasn't there a thing with Jay's shirt where it like got demonetized or something where he wasn't allowed to wear it? And then
wait, so you think Jimmy and Jay are gonna start off?
I think so.
I mean, WrestleMania 10, Owen and Brett start off brother versus brother.
I think the ladder match is gonna start.
Well, it's my show, not yours. So what are our predictions for Jay versus Jimmy? Because this one's a tough one to predict. I'm starting with Troy first. Who do you got?
Because it really depends how the rest of the weekend goes. Because if they want to do the storyline where the bloodline just loses all their matches, I could see Jay winning this. I also heard Jay's going to have like a celebrity with him. Like some celebrity's going to like be with him. I don't remember who off the top of my head. So like
Lil Wayne, I think?
Maybe.
Yeah.
But if that's the case, then
Meek, I think, is just doing a performance.
Oh, so that's my piss break. That's my piss break. Okay, I'm glad.
I like Meek. He's good.
But anytime there's actually a music performance in wrestling, do you ever actually care?
No. Yeah. If it's for an entrance, yes.
Who it is.
Okay, fair. I don't. Meek Mills is fine. Don't care about him. So that's my piss break. I'm gonna go with Jay winning this one. I think because he's just so over, and they might want to continue. Because remember, there's like things that he was supposed to win the IC title off Gunther like on Raw randomly. Remember that? I don't know how true that was. So like they clearly want to push him way harder than it seems like they want to push Jay.
Yeah.
Unless Jay does like something. I mean, unless Jimmy does something sneaky. Yeah. Then I see Jimmy winning. But I'm gonna go with Jay for this one.
All right, Matt, you're next.
I think Jimmy's gonna win. And the reason why is I think because Jay has he won the tag titles with Cody on Raw. And like you said, he almost won the Intercontinental title on Raw. And I remember back in what was it, 2020 or 2021, he won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think Jimmy needs it more just because he hasn't really done anything. I feel like Solo's definitely going to get involved.
Oh, yeah. You think Rikishi's going to get involved? I forgot to ask that. I'd like to see that.
Ooh, good.
Yeah, and he's going to stink face both of his sons and tell them to knock it off.
Yeah, knock it off.
That's where he gets back in line. Bring that big ass up.
He's like, you either make up or I'm backing it up. You know what I'm saying?
It's just...
So, yeah, I'm going to say Jimmy on this.
That's interesting. I mean, this one's pretty hard to predict because I know a lot of people said Jimmy might need it more because Jay's over and he could take a loss. Like, he can lose as much as he wants and he's still over. I just think that this...
Also, keep in mind the fact that Jay keeps getting in trouble with weed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Jimmy got pulled over 3 years ago.
He got a couple DUIs. Jimmy does.
They seem to clean up their acts recently, but I think the story they're telling with Jay constantly getting screwed over in title matches because of Jimmy, like screwed over Roman, screwed over him and Cody with the tag titles, and now against Gunther. I think the good guy's got to win at least the first match. I think Jay's going to win, and if it opens Mania like I think, it's a great way to kick it off. I don't think the feud's over. I can definitely see 3 matches, maybe concluding at SummerSlam or even next year's WrestleMania. But I think Jay's got to win to kick off the feud because they both haven't won matches in a while, but specifically Jay. If he's going to be main event Uso, he kind of needs to win a big match to me. So I'm going to go with him here, but it's an unpredictable match. You never know. But let's get into what I think is going to be the second match. And it is a 6-woman tag match between Jade Cargill, Naomi, and Bianca Belair versus Damage Control. And I think Asuka is still injured, so she might be working injured. And then maybe, I don't know if she's taking time off after or whatever, but we'll see. But we'll start with Matt this time. Who do you think's going to win? I think it's pretty easy to predict this one.
First off, this is hot garbage. For EV3. Jade Cargill's team. I mean, she's debuting she technically debuted at the Rumble, but that wasn't really a match. This is actually her wrestling in WWE for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
She did amazing in AEW. She was like TBS champion for like a year or so, or close to it.
Yeah. It was like 500 days or something. It was a lot.
And they obviously clearly want to push her to the moon.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, she's not starting in NXT, which I don't think she needs to. I'm pretty sure she's been training at the Performance Center anyway, to work on her craft. I think her, Naomi, and
Bianca win.
Bianca.
Pretty predictable.
See, that's how much I couldn't care less about this match.
Yeah.
Troy, what do you think too?
It makes sense that they're having this match, but
yeah, I mean, Bianca need to get in the card, and so did Damage Control. But
Naomi.
What do you got, Troy? I'm guessing you got the same thing.
Listen, this match is going to be the Jade Cargill showcase.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to do a lot of stuff. Obviously, Jade Cargill, unless they do some weird stuff where like either Naomi or Bianca turns heel, which that would be very weird, but honestly, not improbable, not going to lie. Not improbable. I don't see it. I don't see it whatsoever, but I'm throwing it out there just in case it does, and I will tell you I technically called it. But I don't see it happening. I think Jade Cargill is going to demolish them. And then I could honestly see after this, like, the Kabuki Warriors losing the tag titles to, like, Jade and Bianca.
Yeah.
I can see that.
I was going to say Bianca and Naomi were going to win the tag titles.
Yeah, I think the reason they added Jade to this, and it's one, we need her on Mania, and the reason why she's in a tag match, maybe she's still green per se, maybe still needs some work, so protect her by putting her in a tag match instead of her Bianca, or I know her Nia was like talked about one-on-one, but yeah, it's going to be the Cargill show. It's pretty predictable. Damage Control doesn't need to win. They can afford to lose, especially with the Io Bailey thing we'll talk about later, the story they're telling there. So, yeah, that's going to be easy win for them.
You also got to love that Asuka has the anti-taker streak. I don't think she's won at Mania ever.
And Bianca's undefeated at WrestleMania.
Yeah, so I thought they were going to do Bianca and Naomi versus Damage Control. And then
that's what I thought too.
Because
every year Bianca would win a title. Because
not this year.
She won the SmackDown title from
Sasha.
And then
Becky, the Raw one.
And Becky, which then turned to the Women's Championship.
Yeah.
And then
she retained against Asuka last year.
Asuka, yeah. And then that was last year. So this year I thought she was going to win the tag titles. But
no.
This match right here, the 3v3, this is almost in compared to last year's when it was Damage Control and Becky, Trish, and Lita.
Yeah, it's like,
but that was more. I feel like more important in a sense because it was
justified.
Lita and Trish teaming.
Yeah. It's this match is pretty much we got to get more women on the card. Here you go.
Yeah,
we just have to get more people. Like once we get to that tag title ladder match, that is pretty much we need to put a lot of people on this card. So
I'm upset my girl Tiffany Stratton ain't on here, man.
You love it's Tiffy time for you always.
Yeah.
But let's get into what I think is going to be next. It's the one that Matt thinks is going to be first, and I'm so excited for this match. The tag title ladder match. And Michael Cole on Raw was being very specific, saying they have to grab both the Raw and SmackDown titles. So a lot of people are fantasizing a bunch of scenarios. Start with Matt. What do you think's gonna happen?
Yeah, first I want to say, like you said, you've seen different stuff around. I saw something about like someone can grab the Raw titles and it continues, and someone can grab the SmackDown title.
That's what I heard. And I was like, what?
I would prefer that, honestly.
Yeah, they need to split them tag titles. They really do. I don't know why they kept them conjoined for so damn long.
Because honestly, there's a lot of teams on here that I would love to see win.
Yeah.
Like if you were to have Theory and Waller win the SmackDown tag titles, but then you have Miz and R-Truth or DIY win the Raw tag titles, I feel like that's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
We have there's so many teams on Raw and SmackDown to where they can just do that.
Yeah.
I'm tired of seeing the champs show up on both shows and just here and there, and then just defending against a random team from here and there.
Yeah.
That being said, I think Miz and R-Truth are definitely going to win. I think.
Okay.
R-Truth's moment is long overdue at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I think he was only in. I know he was in the Mania 31 ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah.
I don't remember any other match he had.
I don't think he was in any other match. Maybe just backstage stuff. That's it.
Yeah. Maybe he was like having like a hardcore match in like one of the early like Attitude Era too, because he was in the hardcore division. Like,
yeah, but that ain't R-Truth.
That's Kate Quick.
Yeah. But I mean, you look at all his work he's done, and then currently this crap he's been doing.
Like, so good.
He's been going.
It's hilarious. I'm not sure if you just saw like on YouTube, but they were doing like the whole tag match predictions, WWE, and R-Truth was on there, and he's just like, "Do I go with Seth and Cody, or no? I'm gonna have to go with the R&R Express."
Yeah, I saw that, the R&R Express. Hey, Regeneration X.
Yeah,
it's going shot. Now, question:
He's hilarious. Everyone loves him backstage. Vince loved him. I mean, obviously,
we don't talk about
him. But
who was that?
Made freaking Brock laugh and Paul Heyman.
Yeah,
he's just right.
Hunter loves him. I mean, if you remember when R-Truth returned, and CM Punk returned and Orton returned, Triple H.
R-Truth was the biggest return out of all of them.
Triple H in the press conference. Let's talk about the biggest return. R-Truth. Yeah. So he deserves this. Then winning the tag titles is good. The only other exception I can see now, if this is one for a fall, if they have to both win both Raw and SmackDown tag titles, then if it's not them, I see DIY winning. But I'm gonna stick with my gun. I'm just gonna say R-Truth and Miz.
All right, gotcha. Troy, what do you think?
So, I also heard a thing that I don't know, this is a rumor that apparently like before Mania they're gonna like write off Theory and Grayson Waller to get another team in there. And I
thought that was an April Fool's joke because that was posted on April 1st. I thought that was just, I don't know.
I'm just throwing it out there just in case it does happen. Because I've heard it if that does happen, then the Hardy Boys or Motor City Machine Guns will be the ones to replace. I don't believe
Hardys are still in AEW.
I don't think they're getting replaced because I saw Finn Balor's Instagram yesterday and he had the whole match graphic which had everyone on it. So like I don't think if they're getting rid of Theory and Waller that they're doing it last minute.
Yeah. That's just what I like to bring stuff up.
I can see the Hardy Boys joining in again.
I'm a huge old school TNA fan, so if I see the Motor City Machine Guns, I will lose my shit. Honestly, more than the Hardys, because I feel like the Hardys at this point have lost so much step. Their AEW run has been like a disaster. Honestly, it's not been great. And
I mean, it's not their fault.
No, but it's also like a lot of these people, like guys, I know you want to keep going, please. Stop.
Yeah,
it's kind of just sad now.
They were doing something with Jeff, and then like him sort of turning heel or getting more serious, and then they just
nothing. Sorry, bye.
He was on Rampage and crap and shit, and then I think he had a ladder match with Darby or something like that, and he started getting a lot more aggressive, and then just like
gone
on television again.
It's weird. So, but personally, I'm on the opinion of, like, if it is true that one team grabs Raw, one team grabs SmackDown, I can see the Awesome Truth getting the Raw titles. But for SmackDown, I'm kind of thinking New Catch Republic. I think I could see them pulling down the SmackDown tag titles, personally. Because honestly, I'm thinking in my head. So, Awesome Truth and DIY are a team right now, like a faction. I could see, like, somewhere down the line. Yeah, Regeneration X. Somewhere down the line, if they turn Ciampa and Gargano heel against The Miz and R-Truth, and then DIY wins the Raw tag titles. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. I don't know if that will happen, but I mean, Ciampa at least is great as a heel. Gargano's weird sometimes as a heel because Gargano has never been like a serious heel in WWE. Like when he was in the way, he was a comedy heel, but Ciampa was like dead serious and he was amazing at it. I think Ciampa as a heel is way better than he is a face, personally.
Yeah.
So
I think that makes sense for them to turn heel just because of the fact that on Raw, like Johnny's wife Candice has been.
Exactly. I was about to say that.
She's been a bitch about things.
Oh yeah.
Talking crap to Maxine.
A little version of the way coming back, maybe.
Exactly.
But like Indy's sort of like not know where she sides on things. Like she wants to side with Candice, but she's like, we shouldn't do it like
You're being mean.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going with. I'm gonna say Austin Truth win the Raw titles, but New Catch Republic win the SmackDown ones if they do that. But if it is, you just grab both titles. I'm still going Awesome Truth.
Yeah, I'm 100%. I'm 100% with you, Troy. I'm gonna go with one grabs Raw, one grabs SmackDown because R-Truth's character, obviously, we know is like dumb. So he'll I think he's gonna grab the Raw titles, and Miz is gonna be like, "What are you doing? Grab them both!" And then someone else is gonna climb up and grab him. And I think New Catch Republic deserve them too.
What about especially the New Day winning?
I like the state of Phil bodies.
I like their new. I like that they're now serious again, but they don't need the titles. I feel like New Catch Republic needs them. They've especially Tyler Bates impressed the hell out of me recently. They've had great matches on SmackDown and then Elimination Chamber, the tag title match. So I think Awesome Truth and New Catch Republic, two perfect winners there for both sets of titles, in my opinion.
The reason why I think Theory and Waller would win if they were separated titles is because, one, you could have them either lose the tag titles at SummerSlam or they can lose it beforehand and then they can have a match at SummerSlam against each other. Or like one turns on the other or something like that.
Okay.
And also, I mean, you also have like the whole Grayson Waller effect, and you know, he's gonna be bragging about the tag title stuff, like probably on the SmackDown after or whatever.
Yeah.
So also it makes more sense because it gives Theory something too, because like, and I'm glad they were actually in this match because last year Theory had a US title match against John Cena.
He beat John Cena.
And he beat him. And then now
wasn't a great match. That
was the worst match on that card.
He just barely got on the card.
Yeah.
So
what
like, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah. But let's get into our next match. And Troy, I see you got that IC belt here, but you're not the ring general. But this guy is Gunther versus Sami Zayn for the IC title. I was kind of on the side that like it should have been Gable or some triple threat match, but I like that they're keeping him in the feud. There goes Matt again. But
I'm taking the titles off. They kind of
they're killing your shoulders. But Troy, what do you think here? Because it's interesting they're keeping Gable in this feud.
Is it weird that like during this Mania I can see so many heel turns coming? Because I've heard that like if Sami does not beat Gunther, Gable just turns heel on Sami. Like Gable becomes more serious and turns heel.
Mm-hmm.
I've been I don't know why this entire Mania I'm like, you can turn heel, you can turn heel, you can turn heel. So many heel turns all the entire fucking card. I like Sami Zayn has been IC champion before.
Exactly.
So I would like it if someone was not IC champion to beat Gunther, but in saying that as well, Zayn, he almost beat Roman last year. So, and like he main evented last year's night one.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like he's still over. He's not like he's dropped below like jobber status. Like I can still see him win this match because I'm also curious, like if Gunther does lose the IC title, like because remember we got that Berlin show coming in. Like, is that July or is that June? That show is.
I think it's August.
June is Clash of the Castle. I just saw that yesterday.
It's in Scotland. Yeah.
Hey. So, like, Gunther's obviously going to be in the main event of that show, but I don't know if he's going to keep the IC title till then or he'll lose it and win the world title at that show.
He should be immediately in the world title whenever he loses the.
Oh, he absolutely should be, but we'll get to when we talk about the Drew and Seth matches when I'll see trying to book this. But for right now, I'm going to say Gunther still retains at the moment because even though Sami Zayn, like I said, I could see him winning it and like but like I said, I could see like that Gable heel turn. So I'm gonna go with Gunther for this. Like he still retains. We keep that. We end one streak at this Mania, but we're not ending another long title run. That's what my prediction is.
Yeah, I'll go next, and I'm going to agree with you, Troy. I think Gunther retains. My big thing is Gunther versus Brock was supposed to happen until the whole incident and stuff, and I don't think Brock was going to win that match. I was like, so I think they were
the IC title.
I don't think there were plans for Gunther to lose at WrestleMania, no matter what. If Brock was the original plan, because Brock doesn't need that belt, so I think Gunther's going to retain. And especially with this Clash at the Castle thing coming up, I could definitely see maybe that's when he loses. Maybe Gable then, maybe Sheamus returns and beats him or something. But I think he keeps it. I think Gable costs Sammy. I think Gable turns heel, costs Sammy the title, and Gunther retains. Okay. What do you think, Matt?
So you mentioned Sheamus and all that. That's from what I've heard, he hasn't signed a new contract. So
that's true.
Apparently, we don't know if he's staying or not. He could leave to go to AEW with Edge. He could just retire. Yeah. I'm not sure if you saw in NXT. You probably didn't. You probably don't watch it. But Ridge Holland announced that he's stepping away.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a storyline that's going to happen in NXT Stand and Deliver on Saturday. Earlier, I don't know. He might actually be retired. It seemed like it was, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was like trying to be like a Mark Henry swerve where he's like, I need to think about my family and all that. and then he tags.
Yeah, drawing off. Sorry,
get that pink suit. Get that pink suit like Mark Henry
did. Salmon jacket. Got to get the salmon jacket.
You know, you see him like in a sleeveless like what tuxedo. I think Gunther.
You think so? Yeah.
I don't think Sammy's gonna. I mean, he had his moment last year, and I just like Troy's. I think Troy said I don't see two title changes like happening with streaks. Everyone's just saying because Gunther just beat the record that he's gonna lose at Mania. So that's another reason why I'm just like, well, maybe he's not. I mean, last year he defended the title in the Triple Threat, which people weren't sure if he was gonna retain or not.
Yeah, so, I was wrong about my pick there.
Yeah, I remember that.
I think he does. I think he does either lose it to Chad Gable or Sheamus if Sheamus continues.
I feel like those are the best two to beat Gunther, but should be a great match. Next match here, we got Rey and Dragon Lee versus Santos and Dirty Dominic Mysterio. Thank God they got Dominic on the card, because I was at first like, why the hell does he not have a match? And Matt's gone again. But I was like, I mean, why does he not have a match? But fine, at least he does.
Dom's entire like Dom and JD are now just we job to like Ricochet on Raw for some reason. But Ricochet doesn't have a match at Mania, but then Ricochet's been picking up all these wins. It's weird. Like, why is Ricochet beating wrestlers that actually have matches at Mania, but Ricochet himself, as far as I know, does not have a match at Mania?
Him versus Ivar on Raw was really good, and the crowd was into that match.
Oh, yeah.
For it not being any Mania circumstances, that blew the roof off the place. But yeah, I wish Dominic was booked a bit stronger because he's just hated so much. But
I'm thinking for this.
What do you think? Yeah, Troy, you're first. What do you think?
I think that because I feel like they want to push Dragon Lee, so him winning against a lucha legend like Rey in this tag match would be good for his career. So I'm gonna say Rey and Dragon Lee. I don't have much to say about this match because I'm gonna be honest. I kind of wish it was just Rey versus Santos. I think them adding, even though Dragon Lee and Dom needed to be on Mania, it kind of just feels like them being tacked on. Like, Dom's not touched Rey since after Mania. He was like, all right, I got nothing else I'm going on. So, well.
Yeah, then randomly, let's have Rey and Dominic all of a sudden feud again.
Out of nowhere. Like, he was just like, and I'm on SmackDown.
And I love, too, that the crowd for that segment was chanting Carlito as Rey's partner. And then Dragon Lee comes out and they're like, oh, all right.
Speaking of heel turns, I'm hurting. Right. Carlito here turn.
I wanted Carlito to be in the match too, but then like when Santos or Dominic was like, "Who are we gonna have? This jabroni, the guy with the hair and all that," and I'm thinking to myself, "Who's not in the lineup?" And I'm like thinking to myself, Savio Vega. No, no.
You wish.
I was thinking Bad Bunny, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, and I was just like, are they gonna do Bad Bunny and Ray versus them two? And I'm like, that'd be awesome. I would love to see him wrestle. And it was Dragon Lee, and I'm like, hey.
I like him, and it's good for him to be in the card.
No, I like Dragon Lee too, and I think this is a good whole passing the torch because people are portraying. I mean, I know people have done this before with other people, but people are portraying Dragon Lee as the next Ray. I mean, there's not going to be
so many people have been portrayed as the next Ray.
Any luchador that WWE gets.
Dragon Lee's going to attack Ray and cost him the match, and then it's going to be Dragon Lee, Santos, and Dom.
But who do you think's going to win, Matt, this match?
Santos and Dom should win just because I feel like they need it more.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to go with Ray and Dragon Lee. I mean, I think that this is a good way to showcase Dragon Lee and his abilities and all that. I do think that this is going to be an underrated match of the night, possibly.
Yeah.
Depending on how they do things.
They're going to do some cool lucha shit.
I think so, too. I'm going to go with Santos and Dom just because I hope with Triple H's WWE that they know that Dom and Santos need something. Like Dominic's losing so much on Raw, and how they can make up for that for him losing too much is Dominic pins Ray, and that's what I hope happens. I hope Dominic pins Ray. Maybe that could be. I don't know if it's Ray's final match or we can keep the feud going or something. But Dom and Santos need it more, and I'm going to be confident and say that they win. Dragon Lee can have a great showcase without winning. I mean, him and Santos had a great few-minute match at Survivor Series with his showcase, but Santos won. They need it more. If they're going to build up Dominic now in this Legado del Fantasma faction, and maybe he breaks apart from Judgment Day, then I think they kind of need to establish themselves. And I think they're going to win, in my opinion.
Honestly, I would rather have, like I said, I would rather have Santos and Dom win. But, I mean, either way, I'm not going to be butthurt about who wins, which team wins or whatever. I think either way, it's fine. So this is like a match. I mean, this is a match that's kind of like lower card, like underrated filler sort of.
Yeah. But let's get into the big matches. And I know both of you are.
That'll be the Cinnamon Toast Crunch match. It's like last
year. Gotta bring out the luchador, man.
Oh, God. Screw those sponsors.
Last year, everything he had was like sponsored matches. It was like Cinnamon Toast Crunch or Slim Jim or whatever.
Yeah, Cinnamon Toast Crunch sponsors a blood feud between a father and a son.
Listen, I'm curious though, like how the sponsors are going to be at this Mania. Are they going to be bad? Like, are they going to have like they
Turbo
be like
tax for the main events again?
I cannot wait to film that. That's gonna be.
Yeah, you know what they should have for the tag match? For Rock and Roman versus
God.
They should have the Terramonic Tequila sponsored on the
Listen.
Or the Rock's new hand cream or whatever the fuck he has. Doesn't he have a new
he also has an energy drink too.
Lotion or something? Yeah. It could be all of Rock's sponsors.
He comes out and has all the drinks and everything in his hands. He hands them to people in the crowd. Here, quit your crying. He hands them a drink.
God. But let's keep getting into the predictions here. We're vamping too much here. The big matches, and I know you two are excited as hell to see this entrance. And it's Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch for the women's title. Yeah. I'll go first because it's short and sweet. Becky doesn't need the belt. I don't think Becky needs to win. She's established. She's one of the best women's superstars of all time. And there's been hints of her possibly retiring or maybe taking a lighter schedule because her contract's up pretty soon. She just came out with a new book. She's an author. Heard many positive things about the book. So there's no reason for me that Becky needs this. Rhea in her first, Matt keeps leaving, but Rhea in her first few months as champ didn't do anything. She wasn't even on the SummerSlam card. but this past like 6 months have been a lot better, especially the Nia match at Elimination Chamber. She needs to still be champion. And if any woman can have a Roman Reigns level reign, to me, it's her. I wouldn't mind if she held that belt till next year's WrestleMania. So Rhea has to retain. Rhea can do it. She's got the character and aura to do it. So Rhea's got to retain here, in my opinion.
My thing is, though, so if Rhea retains, who else can face her? Because I feel like she's beaten everyone already on.
Liv. Liv was the last person to beat her, and she kind of teased wanting to go after her. So I can see them being the next feud.
Okay.
And we know how much. Matt's God again. Matt loves Liv Morgan.
I know. This is his match, and now we can't even talk about it. Yeah. But honestly, I'm more thinking because the way the storyline is going, I get your point, but I'm also at this point like Rhea's had a great title run. It's been over a year. I'm thinking she finally 1 year long.
Wow.
I'm saying Becky wins this one.
Jeez, you're one of the only ones. Everyone's saying Rhea. That's a bold pick.
I'm being bold. I'm just thinking that Becky's gonna eke the win out.
All right, Matt. What do you think?
First off, I would have rather watched Bayley and Io. Honestly,
really? See, Rhea Ripley live?
I already saw Rhea live.
That's true.
Yeah, we did.
And I saw Becky live at Payback.
Yeah, but at WrestleMania,
I have not seen Bayley.
I think Bayley and Io's storyline's been better than the Rhea
storyline.
feud.
Yeah, it has been better.
It's been way better.
I would, like I said, because if Bayley would win the women's title, which we'll get to that prediction later, but like if she were to win, I would rather have seen that. Honestly, in my opinion. I mean, there's some matches that I would have rather had on night 1 than night 2, like. Possibly the U.S. title on night 1, maybe, but to see Orton and Logan Paul and all that. But anyway,
stop complaining. What's your prediction?
I'm gonna have to go with Rhea.
Yeah,
I mean, people are saying that maybe she's doesn't need the title anymore or whatever, and Becky doesn't need a title right now.
Thank you.
She's already self-made. I mean, for God's sake, she recently just came out with her own book.
Mm-hmm.
I need to read that book.
She doesn't need no title right now or anytime soon. I mean, I'm not saying she doesn't need a title in the future, but I mean, Rhea needs to be established as a dominant women's champion. And the only other time she actually was champion was like the whole. When she defeated Charlotte Flair, then lost it at like Backlash or something, like within 2 months or something like that.
Oh, yeah, that was bad.
So, and honestly, like people were saying, because like Rhea hasn't really been fighting credible superstars. Maybe Nia at Chamber, but she hasn't really been fighting credible super wrestlers. So that's why I kind of think Rhea should beat Becky. So
Rhea beats Becky just so that when Charlotte Flair comes back, she can win a belt. Calling it.
No,
Rhea's gonna retain, and then Damian Priest is gonna cash his briefcase in on Mommy.
On Mommy.
The only way.
Well, we'll get to that soon, but let's talk about the big match. Cody and Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns and the final boss, The Rock. I feel so bad for myself that I can't see this live, but you two are gonna have a blast seeing heel Rock live. That's once in a lifetime that you're gonna get to see heel Rock live. So I'll start this out because this is not an easy prediction, but I am so surprised how many people are saying Roman and Rock wins. I'm on the opposite. I think if you want to really establish Cody as the guy, him pinning Rock, and we'll get to night 2 in a bit, but if he can pull off pinning both Rock and Roman, he's already over his shit, but that was like a stamp of approval, like face of the company. And Roman and Rock are so over. Like, Rock doesn't need to win. I think it's going to come down to Rock and Cody because that's pretty much what this whole feud's been about. Everyone's saying the feud's more Cody Rock than Cody Roman, and it's been an amazing feud. But I don't think we'll get to Seth and Drew too. If Seth's going to lose Sunday, I don't really want to see him lose twice. That would be a bit weird. And it would be a bit weird to me. I get the whole Cody like adversity and underdog thing. It would just be awkward to me if he got pinned, because if they lose, I think it'll be Cody that gets pinned. It'd be weird if he got pinned and then wins the next night out of nowhere. And I think no matter what, I don't think Cody Roman's going to truly be one-on-one. The Bloodline's been full of shit for how many weeks now about, oh, no Bloodline will be here, and then they are. Even if Cody and Seth win, I still think people are going to get involved, and we can have this end game moment for their night 2 match. So Cody and Seth for me.
Okay. I'm more of the opinion, because Bloodline rules means it's going to be no DQ. I think they're going to do, I'm thinking Roman Walker so that they can, because obviously that end game spot will probably happen, but I'm also thinking then they can use weapons for night 2.
Mm-hmm.
So like you can have blood. I'm sure Cody will bring out the cowbell and like the Texas bull rope. They'll bring out like all the weapons and stuff. I imagine
blood.
No, I think night 2 main event, that might be a bloodbath. I think that might be the one time we actually get a bloodbath in WWE, and I think it makes sense for this. So I can see Rock and Roman winning, but I see them, because everyone's saying it comes down to Rock and Cody, but I'm going to say Seth comes in as like a surprise, and then he loses.
Oh, you think he gets pinned?
Yes, Seth gets pinned by The Rock.
Wow.
That's how I'm going with it, because like I said, I'm fully expecting night 2 to have all out, no DQ. This is going, night 2 main event is going to be absolutely insane with like weapons, people coming in. We're going to have like 30 people. It's going to be like a Royal Rumble of how many people are running in on this damn match.
I still just think, in my opinion, you can do that with Cody and Seth winning, but I completely get that. All right, Matt. Oh, sorry.
No DQ. No DQ, and like I said, weapons.
All right, Matt.
All right, so mine is sort of like Troy's. I do think Seth's going to get pinned.
Wow.
I don't know if it's going to be by Rock or Roman, but it'd be crazy if Roman was the one to pin Seth.
Yeah.
He's never been beaten Seth. But what I think is going to happen is that Cody's going to be down on the outside or whatever. Drew's going to get involved. I'm not sure if you saw it, but on Raw, there was like one segment or whatever that was happening backstage, and Heyman was talking to Drew. I could see it where Drew helps Rock and Roman, and then for night 2, during Drew and Seth's match, the Bloodline helped Drew in exchange. So I think Drew's gonna screw up Seth, and then like maybe CM Punk might try to like, I mean, I know he's kind of injured, but like maybe he could try to like distract Drew or something like that, get him away or something. I don't know, but I think Drew's gonna be the deciding factor of this, and Rock and Roman are gonna win. So that way everyone knows that by night 2 that the card's stacked against Cody, and that way when they make it all the no DQ and all that, all the fuckery can happen. where and
there will be a lot of fuckery. Like that match is gonna be like
where John Cena or Stone Cold Steve Austin show up, and like
Jey Uso comes out.
Everyone from Roman's past can like that.
That's still with the company and on AEW.
Cesaro just comes out.
Kevin and Sammy can come out and help, and whoever else, maybe Orton and whoever.
Yeah.
My big thing is with that whole endgame stuff, I don't want it to overshadow. We'll get into Roman Cody. I don't want it to overshadow if Cody's going to win the moment itself. That's just my opinion, but we'll get to that when we get to that. But let's get into night 2. What I think that the U.S. title, it's horrible quality, but the U.S. title triple threat between Logan Paul, KO. That KO looks like he's 60 in this shot, but Randy Orton. And apparently, I think for WrestleMania,
like
isn't the Prime bottle supposed to be in like the middle of the ring or something?
Honestly, when you made that announcement like on SmackDown, I thought that was going to be on there for the rest of like
the night, but no.
On every single mat and wrestling, but if it's for Logan Paul matches, that'll be.
It better just be for him. I don't need to see freaking Prime bottles when Cody's trying to finish his story. I do not need to see that. But yeah, who do you got?
And he looks down with the title, and you see the
Prime bottle. Oh God!
And the CGI like cuts to the screen. It just shows the Prime.
Oh God! But I'm really excited for this one. Could definitely be a match of the weekend. Probably, hopefully, get a crazy RKO that Logan Paul takes. But let's start with Matt here. Who do you got winning? And Matt's from Cleveland, by the way, or from around that area. And SummerSlam's could be in Cleveland, and Logan Paul's from Cleveland. So hometown boys here. So, but who do you got winning?
Both left Cleveland to go on for better things.
Yeah, Matt's done way better things than Logan Paul.
Yeah, I've clearly done so much greater things than Logan. Well, my reputation isn't ruined. I could say that.
Yet anyway, yet.
That is true.
Part of me, like, this one's hard because, like, in a sense, I can honestly see all three of them winning.
Yeah.
Like, Orton, like, he only won the title once just because they want to make him a Grand Slam champion. But, like, he held it for, like, a couple weeks, and that was it. And he didn't do anything with that.
Yeah.
Didn't he lost to, like, Jinder Mahal at Mania or something? Remember that?
Yeah. It was
Jinder Mahal was Randy's curse.
It was like a 5-way or 4-way. It was a fatal 5-way or 4-way or whatever. I remember Rusev was in it.
And Bobby Roode.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I could see them put it on him because, like, honestly, thinking about it, Orton's not going to be in no world title picture, I don't think, anytime soon right now.
Okay.
I just don't see, like, not right now, because I know he just had a match at, like, what, Rumble or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, I don't see him going after Seth or Drew or Priest or Roman or Cody. Like, I don't see that happening yet. I feel like if they do Cody and Orton, that'd be like a SummerSlam match. So like, I feel like Orton could win it just because of that, but I'm not gonna say him. Owens, I feel like hasn't really done much. I mean, he was with tag champs last year with Sammy, and he actually lost it with Sammy in Pittsburgh. Me and Troy were at
Payback. Did not expect that, not gonna lie.
Me and Troy were at Payback. Dylan wasn't because he's a loser.
4 hours away in Millersville. Sorry, guys.
that sucks to be you.
It was crazy too, because like I got like a the Payback T-shirt that had the Judgment Day on it, and at the end of the by the end of the night, every member of Judgment Day were champions. So I was like, "That's awesome!"
It's like you should have saw that coming, but it still was shocking when they lost the tag titles.
Yeah, because people the thing is, I predicted them to win the tag titles. Troy and his friend did not. They thought Sammy and Kevin Owens were retaining. I'm like, nah. Yeah. And then the titles changed hands, and I was rubbing it in their faces.
Oh yes, God, I bet you were.
But so Owens hasn't really done much. I could see him being the new face of America again or something, but maybe like a face US title run. But I also see Logan Paul retaining because of SummerSlam. So like, I don't know. The only way I could see Logan Paul losing is either he goes for a world title at SummerSlam, or get this. This is a random prediction, and I'm the first here to say it because I know Logan Paul wants his family to be there. I would not be surprised if Logan teamed up with Jake Paul and they went for the tag titles.
You get Mike Tyson.
Logan can actually wrestle. Jake, there's no way Jake can, right?
I know, but honestly, Logan did say on his podcast or whatever that he would love to like team with his brother. He actually wanted to team with his brother at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But instead the US triple threat's happening.
I mean, the heat they would get.
So, I mean, him teaming up with his brother in Cleveland, sounds more likely, you know. I'm just saying, if it happens, I said it first. All right.
Put that
You're vamping too much. What's your pick? Because you basically went over all three possibilities.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna go with Logan.
Okay.
All right, Troy, what do you think?
I'm thinking. I'm thinking Logan retains. I'm thinking Logan does some sneaky garbage to like eke the win out. Because personally, I'm more of the opinion of. I'm thinking like. You said Randy won't be in like a world title feud afterward. I'm thinking he might be. I'm thinking like he's the one that Cody's going to feud with after Mania. Because, you know, they have the legacy history. You can have some world title matches for that, like immediately after that. I think that would be a better place for Randy than the U.S. title for me. And I think Logan can still do a lot more with the U.S. title. So I'm saying Logan wins this.
With the Orton stuff, I'm kind of with Matt, where it's like I would wait that out to see Cody Orton. I don't think you should immediately do Cody versus Orton like at Backlash. That's SummerSlam or possibly WrestleMania next year, in my opinion, that type of match. Okay. Just because the feud, it could be a bloody feud. Like Orton can turn heel again because you're not going to turn Cody heel. So, yeah, I would go with that. But I'm with you guys as Matt's frozen again. But I'm going to say Logan retains. He hasn't had a definitive win as champion yet. I know at the Rumble and ended in a DQ. He beat The Miz to qualify for the Chamber, but that wasn't for the U.S. title. And then he lost at the Chamber, and it costed Orton. He kind of needs a win, a definitive win as champ. And I know him and Miz won 2 years ago at WrestleMania, but Logan didn't pin him. Like, he really hasn't had a Mania-type win yet. He lost to Seth last year. I feel like out of all of them, Logan needs it the most. Kevin doesn't need it. He's established, and Orton sure as shit doesn't need a U.S. title run. It'd be fun, but like he probably wouldn't hold it for that long, and he's a veteran in one of his final runs. He sure as shit doesn't need it. So I'm going to, and the fact that it's a triple threat, Logan can use the brass knucks or can do shitty things, and it's legal. So I definitely think that's how he's going to retain. I think it's too early for him to lose. All right, let's get into.
Wait, before we move on, I just have a quick thing to say. I think that there's going to be one of those spectacular RKOs, and it's going to be on Logan.
I said that first.
I left the call for a second.
The buckshot thing into an RKO or something like that.
Okay. Oh yeah.
I was gonna say I feel like there was gonna be like a viral moment with it. I loved.
It's going viral.
When Elimination Chamber, he had the brass knucks. He was just like,
amazing.
I popped huge for that. I'm like,
camera work was spectacular.
He's gonna hit with the RKO, and it happened. And I was like, dude, that was awesome.
All right, so something that is not as awesome feud wise is the Pride versus the Final Testament, and of all things, this match is the Philly Street Fight. Not Jimmy, not LA Knight Styles. This is the Philly Street Fight. Probably, I guess, to make this match entertaining because the feud, at least to me, hasn't clicked. This one will be short and sweet to me. I think the Pride's going to win just because the Final Testament, I get AOP's been booked good, but not the biggest fan of what Karrion's been doing.
I kind of just wish the Pride was just called the Hurt Business because they kind of are just the Hurt Business again.
I just feel like the Pride, I will say they're still over. Like Lashley still gets good cheers. Like give them a good win at WrestleMania. Lashley wasn't even on Mania last year.
Yeah, do you remember? Didn't he win the trophy and he just came out and was
out. Yeah,
so he won the Andre thing.
Yeah, so I think the Pride wins, my opinion.
This is my night 2 piss break. This is when I'm going to go take a mad piss because I don't care at all.
It's going to be a street fight, so there will be some wacky stuff. I mean,
yeah, but the storyline's been not great. And I don't care about Karrion Kross ever. Karrion Kross, for some reason, he has never been great to me. And I don't know why, like in NXT, he was pushed to the moon. And I'm like, he is just okay.
I think Triple H liked him. But...
He's got a great entrance, and his wife's hot. That's it. He can barely cut a promo.
And that's what Matt's going to be excited about for that match.
He doesn't talk
I want to see what outfit she's in.
Oh, God.
But I'm going the Pride as well because have Street Profits won at Mania?
They won last year in that showcase, which was awesome. That
was
match,
a weirdly great showcase.
Yeah,
but I'm going the Pride.
That's
for
about
this
it.
One.
Yeah,
I'm going for the Pride.
All right, Matt, what do you got? Keep it short and sweet too, because this one's kind of like
not much to say. See,
yeah, exactly.
Piss break.
When the fuck did they announce this match?
Last SmackDown, I imagine.
Also, Street Profits and Bobby are called the Pride?
Yeah, that's their name.
I know, it's stupid, isn't it?
Yeah.
Should have been called the Hurt Business. Come on. That was a great name.
I was going to make a gay joke, but I'm not.
No. I do not want to be taken down.
No, Matt.
I was just going to say there's no one gay in the faction, right?
Yeah, why is it like the Pride, like Final Testament, that makes sense for them being like all like gothic and stuff.
Yeah.
Pride is just so generic of a name. Like that does not fit them whatsoever.
No.
Call them a Street Business or like Hurt Profit. Hurt Profit's a great name. That actually is way better. But no.
All right, Matt, just get your pick over with.
Hurt Street. What about that?
Hurt Street.
Lashley in the Street Profits. I think because Lashley didn't have a Mania match last year that he needs to. And honestly, Lashley was supposed to have a match last year, but we all know what happened. And with Bray. So
that would.
And I know Bobby Lashley was upset that he didn't have a Mania match, but I mean, things happen.
There's nothing you can do about that. That was.
All right, let's get rest in peace to Bray. Let's get the spirits up a little bit with this next match with LA Knight. Yeah, in his first WrestleMania match against AJ Styles. I know people were disappointed that LA Knight wasn't like fighting Logan Paul, and I was kind of under that tree at first, but then the past few weeks with Styles traveling across the world to attack LA Knight, and then LA Knight invading his house, I've enjoyed this feud. And then LA Knight in disguise last week. I think they've done a good job exceeding our expectations. I don't know why this doesn't have a stipulation, but
this should be like a hardcore match.
Yeah, if anything, because they're in Philly, I would not be surprised if they made it to like a street fight or something like that.
I just think though that tag match, the one we talked about last time, that's a Philly street fight. So, but who do you think's winning this, Matt? I mean, I hope it's obvious.
LA Knight needs to win this.
Yeah.
He's not getting no US title match, which, you know, if that would have happened, I would have went with him over Paul, but that ain't happening. So LA Knight needs to win this. I do like the rivalry they've had so far. However, I will say whoever was acting as those police officers.
Yeah, I was saying that.
Garbage.
I was saying that. I'm like, police officers don't let.
It's not fine here.
You're not supposed to talk when you get arrested, and they just let LA Knight talk his shit. It's like you usually say like, stop talking, or it'll be held against you.
Yeah,
they were handcuffing LA Knight, but they didn't handcuff or like get AJ away from him or anything like that.
Stop fighting.
Oh, it's my house. So
listen, you gotta take that for
walling and fighting.
You gotta take that for a grand assault. Like, it's entertainment, and I enjoy it because it's kind of a classic thing they've been doing. We haven't seen that in a long time, and I enjoy that they do that stuff. I appreciate it.
And then it was even worse when they had LA Knight be like, well, where's he at in the crowd or whatever, and he was like a security guard or whatever, and the security guards were like taking care of this one guy or whatever who was like trying to be LA Knight. And I recently saw like yesterday or whatever, like on YouTube, like the aftermath of like them still holding him backstage. And LA Knight like gives him money saying, hey, thanks, good job. He's like, it's like, you can go now or whatever. And the security guards were taking him away. He's like, no, I know LA Knight. What?
Amazing. Oh my God.
Like, that is so bad.
But it's so bad, it's good.
Exactly.
And my easy prediction, it's gonna be LA Knight. Styles does not need to win. It's Knight's first WrestleMania, even if he's not in a title match, which I think we're gonna get him versus Logan at SummerSlam personally, and that's when he'll lose. But I think he wins here. Give him his WrestleMania moment for his first one. What do you think, Troy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think just thinking about it, man. AJ Styles has lost a lot at Mania too, hasn't he? Also has a really bad streak at
But
Mania.
he has gained some muscles.
The man is juiced to like how what it's insane. But like, yeah, no, obviously LA Knight's going to win this one because that crowd is going to explode when he wins.
Oh yeah.
But just thinking about like, I wonder what they're gonna like. Do you think this feud just one and done at Mania, or will this continue to backlash? Because
I think I might continue because
like
maybe before LA Knight's in a title match, keep this feud going, and then when it ends, he'll be in the U.S. title picture.
Well, yeah, no, AJ Styles WrestleMania, he has lost so much. I think
he beat Nakamura. And
okay,
Shane, he beat Shane in 2017, which is really good. He's actually won a decent amount more than you think.
Why do I only remember his losses? Because he lost to Jericho, he lost to Taker. Did he lose to Randy Orton or did he beat Randy Orton? Why do I remember him losing? That might be on me for not just remembering.
Yeah, but he's had a decent Mania record. Kind of like average, pretty much.
50-50, really.
Yeah. But yeah, LA Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. All right, let's get into the last three matches here are big-time title matches. Matt said he's salty that he can't see this live. Io Sky versus Bayley for the women's title. And it has been probably the second best storyline behind the Bloodline stuff.
This storyline is actually amazing. I love the moment. Like, I replayed it so many times where Bayley's like, I speak Japanese. I understand Japanese a little.
That was pretty cool, yeah. And then Io cutting a menacing promo, but then Bayley attacking her. Was pretty cool.
I think when she started speaking Japanese, I thought that was amazing because it just showed how much she cared about like Io and all that. She's like, she learned, and she's like, I've heard the things that you've said behind my back. You don't think I knew, but I did, or whatever.
It's gold. What a historic and will be remembered moment in SmackDown history.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say, obviously Bayley's going to win.
Mm-hmm.
She has to win. She has to. There's no reason. Like, Io's had a longer run than I think anyone expected her to have. I remember when she won the title, like, all right, you're going to hold this for a month or two and then lose to Charlotte or something. I remember thinking that when she won it was like SummerSlam last year.
Yeah.
SummerSlam.
Cast in.
And I was like, yeah, she's not going. But she's held the title for a pretty long reign. And
the reign to me hasn't set the world on fire. She defended it a few times in the fall and then just barely has defended it since. She hasn't been an amazing champion, but she's been good and the storylines helped her. But
exactly,
I don't think she's the best champion. Like, I think Rhea, in my opinion, is a much better champion, but this is the better story.
Yeah. Tales of the two halves. But Bayley has got to win this one, and I'm going with Bayley.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to go with Bayley. I mean, she's dealt with so much crap in terms of booking. She's lost like Bianca like 1,500 times. Always loses the big matches. Yeah, she's lost a lot since she's turned heel. Like, the least she can do is have her WrestleMania moment. I like that we're not immediately back to like the original Bayley character as a face. I like that she's more of a badass. I hope they just keep up with that character. And Bayley could be a good champion. She's been a good champion before, and I sure as hell think she can now. I think this could be an underrated, like, maybe not best match of the weekend, but one of the best, and the reaction when she wins is going to be crazy. Yeah, Bayley absolutely deserves this moment, 100%.
Yeah, I want Bayley win too. I think she's going to win too, but I mean, if Io were to retain, I wouldn't be upset because I know they would want to have her have a better reign or whatever.
I guess, yeah.
But I'm gonna have to go with Bayley, and I'm not sure if you guys talked about it, but you look back at during COVID, she was the COVID champion,
really good champion.
Oh yeah, she had
an amazing reign. And her and Sasha, and Bailey, like, for the women's division, she like stood on ground and just, held the fort down during the days of where they were just at the Performance Center or whatever.
Yeah, Thunderdome.
The dark days, those were.
So I think Bailey should be women's champion again. And like I said, I would love to see her with her new character as champion. I mean, it's like you said, Dylan, it's not the whole hugger. Hey, Bailey,
Hey.
And it's not just like a heel Bailey, which I've loved her heel run. And I that Hell in a Cell match that her and Sasha had for the top, I thought that was amazing. I watched that with Caleb during COVID, and he was like not really into women wrestling, but he even admitted like this was actually a really good
Caleb's
match.
one of Matt's friends for the viewers that don't know, because Matt just randomly bring him up.
Yeah,
the inside jokes. We have inside people.
Inside people.
Yes,
but yeah, I think that's one of the more predictable matches on the card.
Oh yeah,
but I'm going with Bailey.
All right, and now let's get into the two men's world title matches first. Seth freaking Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. I'm just going to immediately start first and say, if Drew does not win this belt, I am revolting. This new character he has, he is the best, maybe besides The Rock's new character, the best character in WWE right now. Basically a CM Punk troll. I loved his little vignette on Monday, acting like a preacher. It was so good. And even if Priest, because we'll definitely talk about this too for this match, a possibility of Priest cashing in. Even if he tries, I want Drew to beat him or some BS where it doesn't happen. And I know Punk on commentary makes this a little more unpredictable, but I think Seth, first of all, the guy's like always work. He just was injured and everything. I think if anybody deserves time off after WrestleMania, it's him. And I just think put that stamp of approval on Drew. He's been a fantastic champion throughout the pandemic. I would be so excited for this heel reign of Drew and a future Drew versus Punk world title match. People were saying that Drew Punk doesn't need a title, but I'm like, if it's for the title when Drew is as champion, imagine how hyped that would be. So I think my prediction is Drew wins and Priest does not successfully cash in. I don't think he's going to officially do it. I think he's going to try. And I actually think Punk is going to attack Priest and cost him the cash in, not lose the briefcase, but cost him, because Punk wants Drew. He wants to be the one to beat Drew because Drew's just been an asshole to him. So Drew, I'm on the Drew train 100%. I don't have any train sound effects. Maybe I'll edit it. But
grab the Braun Strowman train sound effects.
That was so bad.
Yeah, but Drew 100%, 120% needs to win this freaking title.
Okay. I agree with you. I think Drew's going to win, but I'm more thinking that CM Punk is obviously going to get involved, but I think CM Punk's going to accidentally cost Seth. So then Drew could like rub it into Seth, Punk's face. They're like, hey, you pretty much gave it. So I think that, because I think, Seth's going to be written out. He needs some time off. Let him take off till SummerSlam. This man apparently has been injured since last September. They kept talking about how bad his back is and all that shit. It's now April. He has not taken a single month off. Get him some time. Let him some rest. But I am predicting Punk will accidentally cost Seth the match, because I know that the original match was supposed to be Punk versus Seth. So I think that might happen like once Seth's healthy. Because I can see Drew actually losing the world title to Punk, and then Seth comes back from injury. The
weird thing is, I'm way more hyped for Drew Punk than Seth Punk now. I mean, I'm hyped for Seth Punk, but I'm like, I want to see Drew Punk so bad because of his new character.
I agree, but I think just Seth at the moment, because if Seth retains, then this Drew character is new, dude. Because I think if Drew does not win, your foot's up your ass. Yeah, because you've been talking all this shit and now you can't back it up. So then what? I feel like if Drew loses this match, his character will be pretty much neutered. and then he'll be kind of just lost into the ether after this if he doesn't win. So yeah, and with the Priest cash-in, Priest has been weird because he's not even like toying with the idea of cashing in. He just kind of has it. And I don't know if that's good or bad, because I know a lot of people are saying like people like really dissing his Money in the Bank reign so far, because they're like, he's done nothing with it. And like there's so many moments where technically he could cash in. There's so many times where someone's been beaten down. Doesn't show up.
I'm not sure if you heard this podcast. It's called Stash Club Wrestling. I watched it last night, and they were joking that like Seth was down and out against Solo at one point, and people were like, "You're telling me Damian Priest probably doesn't know how the Money in the Bank works, because you're telling me that wasn't the moment for you to cash in? Like this guy doesn't know what he's doing."
I've seen memes where it's like Damian's like, "Oh wait, the Money in the Bank has a year-long raid. It's Money in the Bank hits, and like, oh, I didn't cash this in. Well, shit."
I'd like to see.
That would have been a hell of a go-home show that Priest cashed in, and he successfully cashed in right before Mania. I thought that would have been pretty interesting. And
I would have lost my shit. That would. But yeah, no, Drew for me. So Matt, boy, what do you got?
So I do think Drew's going to win the title. I also think that he's going to bring back his Broken Dreams theme song.
Oh,
please. Oh, my God, yes.
And that song will play in the part because Drew will have Broken Dreams when Priest cashes in on him.
Oh, no. No.
Wins the title. Now, and then wait, let's see.
I'm waiting.
2 months or so. And then at Clash of the Castle, Drew can win the title back from Priest.
So does that mean Drew would turn face then?
He's gonna get cheered there no matter what because it's in Scotland.
Yeah,
it's his hometown, and I can honestly I see him winning the title because like last year he didn't. Was it last year?
2 years ago, he lost to Bobby.
Lost to Roman.
Yeah, he lost to Roman 2 years ago, so this could be the way where he gets his win back in his hometown. Or, well, sort of hometown.
Priest's character just doesn't feel main event worthy to me. He's been booked a lot stronger the past year ever since the Bad Bunny match, but his character and, like, Drew's character aren't even close. Like, Drew's character is clearly upper echelon main event. Priest just doesn't feel like a main eventer to me.
Damian kind of feels like he's kind of in the background. Because let's be honest, the Judgment Day at this point for me is the Rhea showcase.
Rhea
and Dom. JD, Finn, and Damian are kind of just like they're there.
Yeah.
After last year with Austin Theory with his bullshit of a cash in and failed and all, and how stupid that was,
he cast it on the U.S. title.
I don't see Priest not winning the title. He had when he cashes in, he has to win the title. I don't see him failing his cash in.
Okay.
People were saying he could cash in on the IC title maybe or something.
Yeah, but like,
no, stop.
Is it cashing on Gunter? I mean, like,
maybe if Sammy somehow wins, maybe. But I don't know. He's just not a main eventer to me.
Well, maybe if like Chad turns on Sammy, leaves, and then Priest cashes in, I could sort of see that, and then Gable gets all pissed off from that. But I don't see him cashing on.
And my thing is, if anything, with Priest cashing in, wouldn't it make more sense if it was successful if it was on Seth? Because Seth had the heist of the century moment, and it would be like the ironic thing if he got cashed in, he retains and gets cashed in on by Priest, and his moment's ruined. Like ironically, just like he ruined Roman's moment. So I think if Priest successfully cashes in, Seth would retain because that just makes more sense story-wise. But I think Drew wins just personally. But I get why, Matt, you think that because everyone's talking about that it could happen.
Like, it is a possibility. I'm not denying that might have, like, I could see in a world where that does happen, but I don't think we live in that timeline.
And I'd like to see a storyline because we haven't yet. Of Priest like freaking out, like, oh shit, it's Money in the Bank. I haven't cashed this in yet. I gotta do something. We haven't seen that yet.
I remember that last year. I think they won in theory to like go over the above year mark or something like that with him not cashing in. I thought that would have been interesting because one, it wouldn't have never been done before, but two, it sort of made sense because of the fact that Roman was holding the title and he's just like, how am I going to cash in on him? There's like 5 people.
And he's not there that much anymore.
Yeah. But like I said, doesn't the Money in the Bank, even if he holds it for over a year and like it becomes Money in the Bank again, that he doesn't mean he's Money in the Bank. That means they take his briefcase and put it back up for the other fuck. For other people.
He defends his briefcase in that ladder match or something.
That would be weird. That would be really fucking weird.
But I want to see kind of that story where Priest is like freaking out because it's almost Money in the Bank. Because like Matt said, we haven't seen it. And I'd like to see it.
When is Money in the Bank this year? Is that June, May?
I thought it was beginning of July. It's in Montreal too. So,
yeah.
But all right, let's get into it since Matt's back. The big main event. Here we go. The rematch from last year, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes for the undisputed title. I wanted to ask you guys first, just we're probably never going to know this, but in your opinion, was this planned all along, or do you think this was a pivot from Roman Rock because of the fan reactions? Because this has been crazy.
I'm thinking it was more of a pivot. I'm thinking this was probably not theirs. Well, like, you look back to other stuff that wasn't their plan, and they just kind of like the fan, just like Daniel Bryan's entire thing. Like, maybe the 30 was as good as it was because fans like, sorry, we don't care about any other people. Sorry, you are giving us this main event.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this match is that 10 years later.
Pretty much.
But then I'm curious what they were going to do. Because like I said, if Cody won the Rumble, would he have just faced Seth?
Him versus Seth apparently was planned at first, which I don't think was going to work. And I feel like if Roman Rock would have happened, they would have kind of crapped on that main event.
It was like, especially because would that have been a title match? Does that mean The Rock would have won the title, or would Roman still have that fucking belt?
Well, we know The Rock and TKO had a lot to do with this, like The Rock pitching and everything. But
yeah.
What did you think it was a pivot too, Matt? They had to pivot out of this.
So I don't think it was too much of a pivot, but I think that originally it was going to be, I think it was originally going to be Rock versus Roman. But as soon as people started saying like, oh, it shouldn't be Rock, it should be Cody and all that, because Cody did win the Rumble.
Yeah.
If you remember, he won the Rumble. So
and pointed at Roman.
And he pointed at Roman. So the only other option would have been like, okay, Seth, which it would have made more sense now with considering CM Punk couldn't wrestle against Seth, but the whole plan was for CM Punk versus Seth. So, and like the whole Elimination Chamber card got switched, the whole entire thing.
Yeah, they kind of got screwed over a bit, but
I think that once they had Rock showed up on SmackDown, I think that was planned. Just in that they were still going to do Cody versus Roman, but they wanted to have people have doubts and for people to root for Cody more, be like, hey, why is Rock in this match against Roman? When Cody's been here and he deserves this and all that. And so I think that's what made people go more on the whole Cody side, the whole Cody crybabies and stuff.
We want Cody.
Yeah.
My gold.
So I think because like if you remember in January, Rock mentioned that he would face Roman.
Yeah.
He teased it.
Sit at the head of the table.
So and people were fine with the match, but like people were like, but Roman's champion, and they didn't want Rock versus Roman for champion. So I think that originally it was like a test thing to see, okay, do we want Rock Roman? But I think as soon as they made it clear at Rumble that it was planned, because then Rock was like talking about how this was like when the whole controversy happened after SmackDown, Rock was saying this is a long Endgame thing or whatever.
The long game.
Long game, yeah, that's going to take for Rock. So I think Rock was telling the truth about that, saying like, look, in character, he's like trying not to break character. In a sense, he was pretty much saying, look, we hear you. This is going to play out.
Yeah.
So,
and my big thing with it is there was never a graphic. When Rock was face to face with Roman, it didn't immediately say Rock versus Roman for the title. That made me like hope, because at the time I wasn't happy either. Like, I'm hoping they get this right, whether it's a triple threat or something. And they got it right, because what a blessing in disguise of the whole controversy. Because now we got heel Hollywood Rock, the final boss, and we get Roman Cody one-on-one, which is what I wanted, because they put a clinic last year, and I know damn well they can do it this year. So
that's another thing I wanted to say. I think Rock is going to have the best entrance at Mania.
Oh, with the new theme and all that lightning.
Yeah, I just have a feeling they're going to plan something. They're actually going to call up Mother Nature and actually have lightning come down in Philly.
It's been crappy all week in Philly until like at least they got the bad weather over with, because it's going to be chilly this weekend, but it's going to be nice out.
How crazy would it be if we're getting to that match, then me and Trey look up and there's just dark clouds?
Oh, God.
Oh, shit.
Where's Samoa Joe and his poncho when we need him?
Oh, God. But I heard there were rumors of Downstate that a new version of Kingdom's coming out like Friday, I think.
What, the one with Snoop Dogg?
No disrespect to them, I do not want them to perform for Cody live, because they performed at Revolution, I think, when he faced MJF, and they just did not sound that good.
They are not good live.
I want the song everyone loves. Like, people aren't going to want to go whoa to them going live. Like, I want to hear the entrance theme we've all been hearing. I do not. I'm sorry, no disrespect to them, but I do not want them to perform live.
Here's something I would have loved to see. He comes out. There's a mirror. He's looking at himself in the mirror. He's got his mask on. He takes it off to show that he had grew a mustache.
Like a whole tribute, yeah.
And then he does.
Yeah, he's just like he's in like or like some like graphic of like all of his like characters.
Where's the throne? Get the throne out.
Triple H still salty about that shit.
Yeah, it's just like previous, like his characters over the year. I would love to see that, honestly. I could see them doing that over the live action.
Here's my thing, though. If they do that, like I said, because I'm thinking it's going to be a no DQ Bloodline Rules match, he can throw out all the weapons. He can get like, he has like a glass mirror. Use the mirror. He gets like, did Stardust have like a
dashing?
Do you remember at Mania? Do you remember at Mania 31, Stardust had like a bejeweled ladder?
Oh God, yes.
He brings out the bejeweled ladder to beat up Roman or like Solo.
Wasn't it polka dotted for
polka dot?
Yeah. He brings that out. I'm thinking if he does, like, he's gonna talk about all of his characters, it's going to be different weapons he brings out, and then he'll bring out like something golden for Goldust, like a golden trash can or something. Like I know Goldust used to use a lot of golden trash cans. Yeah,
but let's get into the match itself and predictions here. Let's start with Troy. Who you got?
The only way I can see, man. Now I could see. Now it really depends if I'll say I'm going to go Cody winning, but I'm more curious about what they're going to do afterward. Is Rock going to turn on Roman, or is Roman turning on The Rock to then set up the match for them two next year?
In my opinion, I think it's too early for any turns to happen. I think they just need to tease it. They've just aligned themselves for a few months.
Well, the problem is, because, Roman's going to be gone for a while, and I imagine after Mania, The Rock's not going to be on every week anymore. So
I think SummerSlam or something, or Survivor Series, is a better place to do the turn itself. I think this is too early, in my opinion. You don't want to overshadow Cody winning, in my opinion.
Listen,
you don't want to overshadow.
The Rock's overshadowed at WrestleMania 27. You remember when he to set up Mania 28?
He's overshadowing this year.
Yeah, I could see him doing a 27 where he attacks Roman somehow. Like somehow,
and
like
I quote, I think it doesn't.
listen, this prediction. This is what I'm thinking. Like maybe like The Rock like gains respect from Cody after like I said. I imagine this match is going to be a bloodbath.
Yeah,
I think this is the one time like Cody will bleed heavily, and I know Roman has bled heavily before. I'm thinking both get color. And The Rock like will like notices like Cody's tenacity and like said we're gonna have that entire end game moment. Everyone's gonna come in and then it's gonna be everyone brawling on the outside, and then The Rock gets in the ring, and then we'll either hit Cody or hit Roman with The Rock bottom. But I think still Cody will win.
All right, Matt, you're up.
That's a lot happening. This match is gonna have a lot going on it.
Oh yeah,
like too much.
Who do I think's gonna win? Me and Troy are the winners. We're going to see this.
Not this match though.
But Matt, when we talked about this, you were kind of saying at first, like, I'm leaning more towards Roman. Are you still leaning towards him?
You know, as the weeks go on, it's kind of a thing where like Roman's obviously going to leave again.
Very much so.
I back in my mind, this is still 50-50 with me. And
I think it's a good thing.
I think everyone is just expecting, just because of this match is happening again, that Cody's going to win. I have no idea. That last year, Cody lost when everyone thought he was going to win. And he even had his mom and he had Brody Jr. In the crowd and all that. And he gave him the weight belt, you know, for Luke Harper and all that. And I honestly don't know. I would love to see Cody win. Is it going to happen? I can't 100% say.
Well, it's predictions, so you have to say.
I'm going to have to go with Cody just because that's who I want to win. But if Roman retains, I'm not going to be surprised. I can see Roman holding that title till like after SummerSlam 2. I can see him beating Hogan's record.
Yeah, that's the possibility.
I don't think he's going to beat Bruno Sammartino's record.
That he would have to hold for like 4 years, wouldn't he?
He has to hold it for like 2 more years.
Honestly, would we be surprised?
Yes.
Hey, Bruno's from Pittsburgh, all right?
Exactly. We can't have another Pittsburgh
champion.
My big thing with this is Roman's reign ever since SummerSlam has been extremely stale. It's not what it was at this point last year. Like, the feud for this match has been excellent, but previous, ever since SummerSlam with Jimmy turning on Jay and the LA Knight match and the Fatal 4-Way, they've been predictable. They haven't had much heat to it. Like, Roman Rock does not need a title. Roman Punk, they've teased that feud. That sure as hell doesn't need a title. Like Roman's got to 1,000 days. I get the Hogan records there, but it's just like, what's next? Like, if Cody loses again, how's his credibility with the fans going to be? Like, we gave him a second chance after losing last year for like the hard times and the whole redemption path and stuff. But if he loses twice in a row, like, now what? Like, if you thought fans were pissed off after last year, if it happens again, oh boy.
All the goodwill that WWE has been building up with this new Renaissance era, that might be flushed down the toilet.
Yeah, and Roman, like, we'll look back if he loses, I think, in more of a positive way. I get he's a part-timer. I get people are getting sick of him, but it has been a legendary reign. It might be a while when we see this again. I appreciate that WWE is doing longer reigns, but it's time. Like, if not now, when? Like, do you really think the impact at like SummerSlam or next year's WrestleMania is going to be the same as now? WrestleMania, a decade WrestleMania in a hot crowd like Philly, like, you're not going to get anything. Like, we thought, like, you strike the iron when it's hot last year with Cody. It's even hotter this year. Like, what's next for Cody and Roman
Yeah,
if
Cody
Roman wins.
The whole thing with like Cody with like 3 strikes, you're out. And this is like would be like his second strike, and then he'd be like up against them all for a third potential.
So he wins the Rumble again next year.
But The Rock said, if you don't,
honestly, I would be surprised if he wins Rumble again because like there's only been one person.
Stone Cold's won 3 times.
Yes, Austin's the only one who's actually won 3. So I personally wouldn't be upset. I mean, right now when you look at it, who the hell would you even put as the winner for the Rumble?
Next year?
Yeah.
That's
way too early.
Braun Breaker. I'm saying Braun Breaker. They push him to the moon next year.
Yeah, that's another thing too. If Cody doesn't win, Braun Breaker has a good future that I think he could possibly do it.
Yeah, but come on. No one's a better guy to beat Roman
Your
than
number one
Cody.
star.
The fact that Cody lost last year, like definitively got pinned, like no one wants to see beating Roman more than Cody. So I'm going to say he's going to do it. Triple H is going to book the right thing. He's going to finish the story, win the title, get one of the biggest pops of all time after a clinic of a match. He's going to hit 15 crossroads. I don't care how many he needs to hit to beat Roman.
They will that cowbell will be bent at how many times he busts over someone's head.
Have you seen Cody's new T-shirt? It's just finished the story. And it's like in gold or whatever. With like back or whatever. It looks pretty dope. I actually might get that at Mania.
Yeah,
depending. But
yeah, I am so stoked and happy because at first, like I'm pretty sure all of us were kind of obviously against Cody losing. But looking back and like if they're gonna do part 2 and they do it right, it was the right decision, even if Roman's reign's gotten stale. Yeah. And now looking at this, as long as they finish it right, I think we'll look back at last year a lot different. If they can pull off as good of a match, I think they can do it.
Yeah, we looked on more positively because I remember the end of Mania 39 last year. I remember I was drinking a little heavily during that. And I just remember just being so fucking deflated when Roman won that match. And
I wasn't even like mad or like angry. It was just it was deflated.
Just sad.
Yeah,
I was like,
that shot of Cody. I didn't tear up, but they had like a cool shot of Roman holding the belts, but faded to Cody just with the sad face.
What a shot!
It was a great shot, but like, oh,
it reminded me of like when Cena lost to Rock.
Yeah,
when Cena was on the stage and he just was like,
But to me, this is better because Cena was an established guy by the time he lost to Rock, and like, are we really going to feel bad for a guy that's main evented so many Manias before? Like, this is different because Cody's never won the title, and this is like his first time like in a big main event spot. There goes Matt again. So I think this is a better. I know Punk in his interview, he said, I usually hate WrestleMania rematches. I'm not a big fan of them for the most part too, but when you can do it right, it makes sense, and I think this year it makes sense to do a rematch.
I'm just like, man. Oh, it's snowing. Why the hell is it snowing outside?
Uh-oh.
That is terrifying.
It's not here. It's pretty nice.
Now, question: how big? Like, what is gonna? So y'all are talking about. I'm just now thinking, like, how America is Cody gonna be? Because he had like an extravagant attire last year. I'm curious how he's gonna have his.
He'll have like I think mostly like a gold a gold like pants to kind of
gold American flag.
Yeah, to like match the belt that he's gonna win. I think it'll be along those lines.
Yeah, man.
We were talking, Matt, before you glitched again. Like, what's his ring gear gonna be?
We're talking about his entrance, but yeah, what's his ring gear? Is he gonna pay tribute to old Dusty, or is it gonna be just gold?
I could see him like wearing something that's like honoring his brother and his dad.
Goldust. Get some Goldust in there.
I was gonna ask too. I don't know if Dustin's still signed with AEW. I would really hope to see him get involved too.
He is.
Be there.
Is he still in there?
He is, but I did see a clip where you know how like when Rock was going on the internet and was saying like "fuck your story, Cody" or whatever. Dustin was like, he was like code a promo or something, and he's like, Fuck the Rock.
I saw that. Fuck the Rock.
That was gold. I'm thinking, because I think Dustin has 1 year left of his contract, and then he might get out.
Yeah.
I think he wants to retire, and honestly, at this point, fair. Because I also want to see Goldust in the Hall of Fame. I think he definitely deserves to be there.
We're talking about ring attires. There was something that I saw on Instagram yesterday, and I hope this happens for the tag match. I heard that Seth will be dressed up as Rocky Maivia.
Oh, that would be the ultimate troll job.
Oh, that would be gold.
Honestly, that makes sense because Seth's always like all
Makes
the
fun of
papers. He's been like cosplaying as whoever. You know, he was making fun
Rob
of
Van Dam, Cody.
He should come out as Paul Heyman for Paul Heyman's going to the Hall of Fame. He gets the big cell phone.
You just see Seth coming down the ring like this.
Yes. Don't tell me that won't be gold. That would be gold.
That would be.
And then we got.
Yeah, I can see the Rocky Man because like the blue streamers and all that, and he can just act like him, like when he was coming down the series or whatever.
Smile like the Rock did, like he used to do.
He can have his hair dressed up the same way. Sort
so
of
weird. He gets the fanny pack. He has to have the fanny pack.
Just.
And I would love to see, and I hope Rock would be already in the ring because I want to see his
He's
face.
just so pissed. Yeah, he removes the glasses. Like, huh?
That would be memes. The amount of memes. But
But
Mania.
Guys, have fun. I'm there spiritually for you guys. And night 2, we're going to watch together. So, yeah.
I'm hoping that your friend, your roommate Dylan, I hope I'm not going to get you two guys confused. Because you guys have
it's funny.
name.
I just realized.
It's
I'm like,
spelled the same too.
I know. It was like we traded one Dylan for another Dylan, but it's the tickets still say Dylan on it.
It's still Dylan. You're still taking a Dylan to WrestleMania, just not the one you think.
I'll be talking to you like, yeah, you remember when I was at your birthday? Oh, wait.
No, I also love that. Dude, your other Dylan, like your Dylan.
You should joke to him about that, being like, "Oh, hey, remember this? Oh, wait, wrong Dylan."
Remember your dad?
He calls you Shield. He calls you Shield. Dylan, your other Dylan, he only calls you Shield. He never calls you just Dylan. I guess that's because he's also named Dylan.
Oh yeah, he calls me
Shield.
He calls
all
me
the time. I know, but it's just so funny.
We're just vamping here. These viewers ain't going to give a shit about this, but let's end it here. I appreciate you
They would care. It's a podcast. They want to hear our story.
They like podcasts of people just
our story. Finish our story.
His story. I need to finish mine, and mine's going to keep going.
But I appreciate you guys coming on. I'm hoping that this could be a future normal thing where we just vamp and talk to each other for future episodes. I appreciate it. And
like always, are we going to do predictions for all the shows?
I would love to do this again.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We could do pay-per-views, especially the big ones.
Like Backlash.
I've always thought about doing a podcast. Like I always imagine me.
Maybe get better Wi-Fi before doing this professionally.
It's not Wi-Fi.
My freaking apartment Wi-Fi is better than your houses.
For some reason. No, what I was gonna say, I'm just now thinking of Backlash because that's in France. We don't have any French wrestlers.
No. Okay, we're talking too much. We'll talk about that later. Well, you got work in like 20 minutes. Yeah. All right, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you guys again. And for people watching, I truly appreciate it. Have a good WrestleMania weekend, and we'll see you guys.